This is case number 360 on the calendar in the matter of Johnson versus Vice. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Johnson, it was your daughter who was getting married, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint is that you took her wedding dress, I assume this is your daughter,
Yes.
and the dress that you were intending to wear to the wedding. You took it to the defendant's shop for the purposes of having the two dresses altered.
Yes.
Your daughter's dress needed to be hemmed and needed the train removed.
Correct.
And what had to be done to your dress?
My dress needed to be altered in the top, right through here and through the shoulders so it would fit better.
Okay.
And it needed to be hemmed.
Anyway, you claimed that she destroyed or damaged the dresses. You want to be compensated to the tune of $2,500. That's what you're suing her for. And Miss Weiss said she didn't damage dresses at all. Who did you buy the dresses from?
I bought the dresses at David's Bridal.
They don't do alterations?
They do alterations, but because they are under an agreement with the manufacturer, they couldn't take the train off of Patsy's dress. So I had to take it somewhere else because
that
it would
sounds
alter.
like a lot of nonsense to me.
Well, that's what they told me.
All right, so you bought these dresses, and how do you claim that she damaged the dresses?
The hem on my daughter's wedding dress is completely ruined. It's longer in spots. It's uneven. As you can see right here, this is how it was finished in the back of the dress, where the train was removed. You can see where it goes like this. It's like this all over the dress. I have pictures to show you.
Okay, so let me see the pictures.
These are the wedding dress.
Okay.
On the day of the wedding, Patsy was afraid that she would trip and fall on the dress because it was too long.
I mean, I see it, and I see the way she looks in it. Your daughter looks lovely in the dress. She looks lovely in the dress. Okay, and what was wrong with your dress?
My dress was supposed to be altered in the top because it was too big. It was a little bit too big, and it didn't fit right. And
How many fittings did you have?
one fitting. That's all I was told was needed.
And this is the way the dress looked when it was on you?
Yes.
So what's wrong with it?
It's too big. The top, do you see the puckers on the side, right, the breast area, and the back
Okay, so you
also?
weren't happy with the alteration. So what happened? You went to pick up the dresses.
I went to pick up the dresses. I walked in the shop. My daughter's dress was hanging outside of the garment bag. It didn't even look like the same dress. It was dingy. It was wrinkled. And the hem was, you could see it from a distance, that it was completely crooked.
How much was it going to be to hem the dress and remove the train?
$75 for the wedding dress.
$75 to do that.
Correct.
And was Miss Weiss charging you anything additionally to clean and steam the dress?
She was going to charge me. I asked her to clean the dress and to press the dress and put it back the way it was when I brought it in. And she told me that she wasn't going to do it. And I was going to have to pay for it to be cleaned and pressed.
Well, that's absolutely right, of course.
Well, I'm sorry, but I disagree with that. I believe that it should be given back to me the way that I brought it to her. It wasn't dirty and wrinkled. And
How did you expect someone to work on a dress of that size and to do the kind of alteration that they wouldn't do in the place where you purchased the dress without touching it?
I expect to receive it back, pressed and cleaned and ready for the wedding.
Miss Johnson, you purchased a dress someplace where they would not assume the responsibility of altering it the way that you wanted. Now, I don't know why Ms. Weiss did, but you bring it to her, and it's a big job. $75 to do the alterations is a bargain. And with that, you also want cleaning and pressing of the dress that anybody else would charge you at least another $75 for if you brought it to another cleaner's to clean and press a wedding dress. And you want that all for the same price. That's unreasonable.
If she got it dirty, she doesn't have to clean it?
Unreasonable. Now, when you picked up your daughter's dress and your dress, tell me what happened in the shop.
On prior occasions, I had paid with a check for hems done in bridesmaids' dresses. I attempted to pay for the alterations with a check. She wouldn't accept one. I told her, well, I'll be back later. I went home, and in between the time I left her shop and arrived home, she called my house and told my daughter that I was a rude, and that...
Were you rude when you were there?
I was very upset. I wasn't rude. I told her I would be back. I was upset. The dresses were awful.
Well, when you say you were upset, I want you to tell me how you displayed the fact that you were upset.
I was very quiet. I said to her, the dress is wrinkled, it's dirty. She said, you brought it to me like that. I knew at that point in time that it was useless to even try and reason with her because I knew what was coming.
What was coming?
This. I ended up with the dresses just as they were. They were unfit for the wedding.
Just a second. Did you take them someplace else to have them cleaned?
I didn't have time. It was 2 days before the wedding.
When did you brought the dress into her?
I took it in on the 15th.
15th of what?
Of September.
And when did you pick it up?
On the 24th.
When were you supposed to pick it up?
We waited for her to call. She didn't call. We finally had to call her, and she asked us, when is your wedding? That was on like the 23rd. She had the dresses for 9 days.
You mean when you brought the dresses in and went for a fitting, you didn't say to her, my daughter's wedding is this and such a date, and I want to pick up the dresses in 5 days or in 7 days?
No, I just assumed that she would be calling me. She said she would be calling me. I assumed it would be in a timely manner.
So then you went home, and then what happened?
My daughter told me what she said. I called her back on the telephone. I told her that I didn't appreciate her calling my house and talking to my daughter. I told her that I was going to take her to court because I wasn't happy with the dresses. I wanted them cleaned, I wanted them fixed, and I wanted them back like I brought them.
You didn't want them back like you brought them.
Well, I wanted them pressed and cleaned. They were dirty.
You wanted them pressed and cleaned, but you didn't want to pay for it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Susan Johnson claims seamstress Blanca Weiss ruined her daughter's wedding dress 2 days before the wedding. Blanca denies the charge and says an irate Susan threatened her.
So what did you do?
So then I told her I was taking her to court. She told me to go ahead, and here we are today.
Just a minute, but somehow you got the dresses back.
Yes, she told me that when I got ready to come in to pick up the dresses that I needed to bring the police with me because she wasn't releasing anything to me. So I had to wait out front for the police. When I went in, I paid her for the dresses. We took pictures in the shop, and we left.
You paid her $75 to do your daughter's dress, and how much to do yours?
$22.
And how much did you pay for your daughter's dress?
$400.
And how much did you pay for your dress?
I paid $30.
So could you explain why you're suing her for $2,500?
Because my daughter was intimidated and scared. She was afraid she was going to fall.
I got you. So for your pain and suffering and aggravation.
For her.
Okay. Now, Ms. Weiss, I'll hear you.
They came to the store. She said she wanted the train off. I thought it was a very simple dress. It didn't have any applications or anything in the hem. So I said, fine. I told her it was going to be $75, and they agreed to do that. And they did tell me the wedding date, and I accept, and I say, we will have it done. I go about my business, and I do a lot of work. Then she calls to see if the dress was ready, and I said, no, it's not ready. We have plenty of time, but if you want the dress right away, I'll stop and I'll work on the dress, which I did. The following day, I had it ready, and I called her, and I told her it was ready. The dress is a full skirt, and in a dress, when it's full skirt, it makes waves. And because it makes waves, you might think there's parts longer than other parts because of the waves that it does. This dress had this type of hem in the bottom. Wedding dresses normally have this in the bottom. I took this off and I put it on the wedding dress that I cut because what it is,
you
this
put
helps,
the backing on again. Could I see the wedding dress?
Because this helped the dress to stay up. Otherwise, the dress would be flimsy like the mother's dress.
I see.
So it's this.
No,
it's
a stiffer material.
It's a stiff material, and I do this type of alterations all the time.
So I understand what you did. You did not just make a hem. You removed that heavy material.
Yes.
And then you sewed it back on in order to give it the same look, but it did have a wave to it.
Yes, and it had it before. This type of dresses, it will because of the flare of the dress. This is a full skirt dress. If you pick it up like this, this dress goes all the way up.
Fine.
So it gives those waves. So I did that. I didn't see any spots
I got you.
on the dress.
I see what you're talking about now. You're absolutely right.
So I got it ready. I hanged it up there, and I called them and tell them it was ready. The lady came in to pick up the dress. She saw it. I put the bag back, and when the lady went to pay me with a check, I told her we did not accept checks, and I had the sign posted in my bag where it says no checks in final payments. So the lady got upset. She says that it was a cheapy store, did not, everybody receives checks. And I said, I'm sorry, we don't. She got upset, and she started saying words that I did not understand. And she left very upset. That's why when she left, I did call the owner of the dress that I thought it was the daughter, and I told her that when she was ready to come, be her to pick up the dress, because I didn't need her mother to be rude to me. I only did my job. Like 2 hours later, this lady calls, and the only thing she says, I am going to get you fired, and I am going to take you to court. And she hung up. I said, okay. So
Now,
anyway.
Ms. Johnson, your daughter wore the dress when?
On September 27th. I have a picture.
And what did you do? I'd like to see it. What did you do with the dress after she wore it?
I put it in a garment bag and put it away.
And it hasn't been cleaned?
It has been cleaned. I took it to the cleaner a couple of days ago.
How much did it cost you to have it cleaned?
$75.
That's exactly what I said.
Correct.
So you wanted her to alter the dress, removing the entire hem, cutting it down, putting it back on, removing the train, and have it cleaned, a job that cost you $75. You wanted her to do that for $75.
It wasn't dirty when she got the dress.
Oh, please,
She
you know,
had
you're not getting
dresses
my
in the floor.
point.
She had the dresses in the floor, cutting them to hem them. Other people's
Miss Johnson,
dresses.
when someone works on a garment like that over a course of a day and a half, it is not going to be in the same pristine condition as when you take it out of a bridal store. Now, if you had bought it at her shop, perhaps she would have given you that service for nothing. I don't know how the bridal business works, but you buy it one place and you take it to her, and you want her to do 2 jobs for the price of one, and you didn't even buy your dresses there. You're being totally unreasonable, and your lawsuit is dismissed. And if your daughter did not have a happy day because her hem was a little bit puckered, she better get a life for herself, too. That's all. Your lawsuit's dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think that if she dirtied the dress, if she ruined it, she should have to pay for it.
I thought I'd do a good job. I've been in business for 23 years, and for a small business to survive, you either have to be good or you have to be good.
All parties in the matter of McCauley versus Cianciolo, step forward, please.
25-year-old network engineer Melissa McCauley is suing her former best friend, 25-year-old pharmaceutical sales rep Tristan Cianciolo, for unpaid loans for rent and a Las Vegas vacation.
Miss McCauley, how long have you and the defendant been friends?
I've known the defendant since 2nd grade.
Did you go to college together?
Yes.
According to your complaint, Miss McCauley, the defendant owes you a lot of money. You claim a series of loans to her that started a while ago. Defendant says that you were just helping her out and it was a gift. Are those prescription glasses that you're wearing?
Yes. Unless I'd have to read something, I can take them off.
Oh, perfect. I would prefer that. Okay. Tell me about the first loan that you made to the defendant.
She was going through a rough time, and she was actually going to get evicted from her apartment probably the next day unless I was able to get her the funds.
How did she contact you?
Through a phone call.
Tell me about the phone call.
She said that the roommate that she had originally signed the lease with, she had moved out. She said that it came to the point where they were going to evict her if she didn't get the money to them next day. So she asked me to take my money out of my account and deposit it to her account, which I have documentation of.
Okay, let me see. And what did you say when she asked you to do this?
Well, it was a lot of money, and I was just like, well, as long as you can pay me back, you know, that I would lend it to her. And she assured me that she'd pay me back.
So you lent her this money on October the 10th?
Yes.
And she said she would pay you back. Did she start to pay you back?
No, Your Honor.
Did you ask her for any of the money back?
I asked her for the status of it, and she said that she didn't have the money to give me at the time, and she was actually trying to get the funds from her ex-roommate.
So then you wanted to go away for New Year's Eve together.
Yeah.
And you went to Vegas. Tell me about it.
Well, I asked her if she wanted to go to the trip, and she said she would, and I told her I would pay for the expenses, and she would pay me back.
So, despite the fact that you made no payments on the $3,000, you decided to, according to you, advance her more money to go on the trip to Vegas for New Year's. From Florida? You were living in Florida at the time? You had to fly from Florida to Vegas, because that's the only place that you could celebrate New Year's. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Looking back,
I'm listening. I'm just listening.
Looking back at it,
So
I
you-
wasn't wise.
Right. Now, so you went, and she still paid you no money, right? Didn't pay any money in January when you got back?
I was actually waiting for the girl. I was in a lawsuit. I wanted to get the money from her to be able to pay Melissa back.
Did you say to her, as soon as my lawsuit settles, I'll pay you back?
Basically, but the lawsuit hasn't settled.
That's not an answer.
I don't recall exactly what I said, but I believe that she was under the impression, and we've had discussions about it, that as soon as I did get the money from this girl and the lawsuit settled, that I would pay her back. But this girl skipped out, and she's not even here.
Is that what you discussed with her?
Those terms weren't defined. This is between myself and the defendant. It's not between myself and her roommate.
So she didn't pay you back in October, she didn't pay you back in December. So in January, you lent her yet another sum of money. Tell me about that.
Well, while we were on the trip, we were discussing her future, and she had mentioned that she really would like to go to real estate school and get her license. She could make a lot of money. She could pay me back in no time. But she needed $1,000 in order to do so. So I was thinking, you know, if I enabled her to go to school, she'd be able to get a job and pay me back the money that she owed me faster.
You have documentation that you put money in her account or a check?
I have a carbon copy and a statement.
Okay, so you gave her another $1,000 on the 23rd of January.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then what happened?
And then, you know, through mutual friends, I heard that she didn't even use the money for the real estate school. And from that point forward, I tried to call her to arrange some sort of payment plan, and she's avoided my phone calls.
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, basically, we've always done things for each other. When she needed something from me, I've always done things for her. And granted, when she did loan me the money, I did intend on paying her back, and I think that I did make her feel as if I was going to pay her back as soon as I had the money. But I think there was a miscommunication there just because I was referring more so to if the case with this other roommate went, you know, if I got the money from her, not out of my own pocket.
Is what you're telling me, madam, that you acknowledge, you used the word loan, that you did, in fact, tell her that this was a loan?
We've had
several. You did say that.
I really don't recall all the conversations, and I realize I do feel bad. I mean, being friends in second grade, I've lost our friendship, you know, on the level that I had it, so that definitely bothers me. But, you know, I'm going through a rough time.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you a simple question. Did you view this as a loan when she gave you the money?
I guess in some respects, yes.
Fine. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,796.05. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may number 379 on the calendar in the matter of Rose versus Perez. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Who was driving the rental car? Let's see. Okay. Leave the papers. Okay. Mr. Rohrbar, you were driving.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Rose had rented the car.
Yes, ma'am.
How were you related to her?
Girlfriend, boyfriend.
For how long?
It's been about a year.
Why were you driving a rental car?
Because my car had broke down and I was over in that area at the time to see my mechanic.
What was wrong with your car? Had it been in an accident?
No, ma'am.
Just broke down?
Yeah, I just got back from Alaska and drove from Seattle down to San Luis Obispo, California, and the transmission went out on it.
So why didn't you rent a car?
Oh, she's a customer.
I know this is really probably not important to the case because your case says that the rental car that you were driving collided with this young man who was riding his bike.
Yes, ma'am.
He went into the windshield. He was injured.
Right.
And you want his mother to pay for the windshield on the rental car. That's what the lawsuit is, right?
That's right.
I just want to know. Mr. Rohrbar, we just want to know.
That's right. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now, at what time of the day or evening did your car come into contact with this young man?
It was about 4:30.
On what date?
The 10th of October.
And where were you going?
I was looking to find my mechanic.
What do you mean you were looking to find your mechanic?
Well, my mechanic, he was getting home from work, and so I was over by his house.
Had you been there before?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been on that street before?
Yep.
What had you done prior to 4:30 that day?
Well, I already been over to the house.
What house?
To my mechanic's.
What time did you go to your mechanic's house?
Somewhere right about 4 o'clock. He was not there, so then I drove further, and then...
Drove further where?
Out by Los Osos Valley Road.
What did you go there for?
To spend more time waiting.
Why didn't you just sit in front of his house?
Well, I just didn't do it. I didn't wait there.
Really?
Yep.
You didn't go anywhere and have a cocktail, did you?
Oh, no. No, not at all.
Now tell me what happened as you were driving down the street at 4:30 in the afternoon, coming back to your mechanic's house after having gone someplace else to sit and wait for him, rather than wait for him in front of his house.
The defendant had come out off the sidewalk and went right into the windshield, into the car.
He was on his bicycle, right?
Oh, yeah.
And where did his bicycle hit your car?
Right in the front right corner.
Show me a picture.
Okay, if I'm driving this car here.
Don't you have a picture of the
Yes,
car?
ma'am. Right here. There's the windshield, and there's a little dent right here. And I had spotted a footprint on that back window. It was after it was all said and done, I had happened to spot it.
So what you're saying is that a bike hit the side of your car and his head went right into the windshield.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you wearing a helmet?
No,
Why not?
because I don't have one.
You mean your mother lets you ride a bicycle without a helmet?
No,
You took the bike without her permission?
yes,
Did you take the bike without her permission?
yes,
Whose bike was it?
my cousins.
How old is your cousin?
5 years old.
5? How old are you?
8,
You don't ride a bicycle?
yes,
Well, my question is, where's your helmet? You let him ride a bicycle without a helmet?
He was not supposed to leave the house. And
I don't care
no,
if he wasn't supposed to leave the house. He rides a bicycle. He says he doesn't have a helmet.
He doesn't have a bicycle.
He has access to a bicycle, madam.
I
You have a young cousin that lives with him
Yes, I do.
who has a bicycle.
Right.
The bicycle that went into this car. Buy him a helmet.
Okay.
He could have been dead.
Yeah, thanks to him.
So let me ask you this question, madam. Did you hire an attorney?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
Why not?
Because I did not believe that this gentleman would even...
I'm talking about hiring an attorney to sue him.
Well, first of all, I don't have the money.
You don't need money to hire an attorney. It's your belief that he hit your son and your son was injured. Were you in the hospital?
yes,
For how many days?
1,
You start out with the premise that if a car hits a child, it's the car's fault. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
When you're in a residential neighborhood, which this was, with that cars parked along the sides of the street,
Yep.
and is it your statement that he came out from in between one of those cars?
It was right out of a driveway, right in front of a car.
So there are homes and a driveway and cars. And you're supposed to be able to, when you're driving in a residential area with a posted speed limit, you're supposed to be able to stop your car on a dime. Because 99.9% of the time, when a car hits a kid, it's the car's fault.
Well, the speed limit was 25 in there, but I was not doing 25. I just wanted to state that.
Well, you don't know that at all.
What's that?
That you were not doing the speed limit or you were going over the speed limit. I don't know that at all, because until this incident happened with this young man, you weren't much paying attention to how fast you were going. You were going at a reasonable rate of speed. You were coming back to look for your mechanic after having gone for a little ride around. And you're not paying much attention to whether you're going 10 miles an hour or 15 miles or 20 miles an hour.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Donald Rohrbaugh says he was driving a rented car when 8-year-old Brandon Perez ran into him with his bicycle. Brandon says it was Donald who ran into him.
Why weren't you driving?
I wasn't driving because
You weren't driving because what?
we had taken the car over to Arizona. I drove back from Arizona. I was tired, so he knew where the mechanic lived, so he went.
I thought he said he was coming back from Alaska and his car broke
No,
down.
no. He was in Alaska fishing back in August.
Yes.
And then I flew to Seattle, met him. Car broke down. The transmission went out on our way down. The car had been broke down for 3 weeks or more.
You have the rental agreement on the car?
I do, and I didn't
I'd like
bring
to take a look at it.
I did not bring that with me.
Why not?
I didn't know I was supposed to. I should have brought it. I didn't. I
Well,
brought
I would
the
like to see whether he was
receipt.
I would like to see whether he was an authorized. Who did you rent it from?
Enterprise.
Was he an authorized driver on the car?
Yes.
Did you take out insurance when you rented the car?
I did not, because I have Allstate, and it covers
You have Allstate and it covers what?
me when I rent a car.
So then why are you suing him?
Well, his insurance doesn't cover a rental car. Mine does, but he was the driver.
Then you should have taken out the insurance, right?
Well, we didn't know until this happened that his didn't cover the rental car. I thought they did.
You're lucky they're not suing you.
Well,
And him.
the police report here says, that, you're saying that he didn't know how fast he was going, but we did because this rental
I'd like
car...
to see the police report.
Okay. Down at the bottom it says cause. It said he was in violation of entering a road unsafe. Your Honor, I know you don't like statements, but I do have one from a neighborhood. She wasn't a witness, but she's a neighbor saying the kids always ride in the street, and I have a copy of that. She couldn't come because of her work.
I believe kids always ride in the street. Miss Rose, that's what I'm saying to him. That's what kids do.
But she's saying that she and other neighbors have said that it's a wonder they haven't hit him before because they dart out.
They didn't. He did.
Excuse me, Your
Well,
Honor.
my grandson doesn't ride in the street.
Just a second. I have grandchildren that ride in the street with a helmet.
I don't.
Miss Rose, you made a mistake. The mistake was if you let somebody else drive a car that you've rented, you have to make sure that they have insurance so that if you have an accident in the car, then the damage to the car is covered. What I'm telling you is you're lucky they're not suing you. They may not be successful, but in the minds of most people, as between him and your car's supposed to be careful. This is a pretty serious impact. It smashed a windshield. And if what you're saying is he was coming out of a driveway, that's not a very long way from
He
a
was
hill
doing
and
a wheelie off the side, and he was going very fast. And I have a perfect
Just a
driving
second.
record.
How do you know?
check
Just a
all-
second. How do you know he was going very fast?
He was flying in the air, fast. That's why he was flying.
How can he fly?
But
Off the curb. It wasn't down the driveway. It was off the curb.
Then you saw him before.
I saw him when he
Then
hit
you
the car.
saw him. No, if you saw him when you hit the car, that's not seeing him before.
Well, I
Miss
saw him,
Rose.
but I was the passenger. I said,
Well, if you saw him and you were the passenger, then he should have been going slowly enough so that he could have stopped. And that's what I'm saying to you. What do you want?
I was just going to say, I mean, he came out of there real fast. I mean, he was pedaling hard.
Just a second. You saw him pedaling hard?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Then you should have been able to stop if you were going slowly enough. In a residential neighborhood, sir. That's what I'm saying to you. This may not be sufficient for him to have a successful lawsuit against you, but I'm telling you, it's the height of chutzpah for you to sue him for going into your windshield. Your case is dismissed. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
It's true. I was in a residential area. I know there's kids around. And, I mean, what do you do? Just stop? Just not move in the residential area?
It's amazing how can an adult sue a kid for driving his bicycle or riding his bicycle and expect to get money after hurting my son. It's ridiculous.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cuts versus Cuts. Step forward, please.
21-year-old bill collector Sean Cutts is suing his brother, 24-year-old personal trainer Donald Cutts, for kicking his car during an argument. Donald admits he slapped Sean, but denies kicking his car.
What's your first name?
Sean.
And yours?
Donald.
And your brother's?
Correct.
You had a girlfriend. This is the girlfriend.
Correct.
She says that she had some sort of words with your brother. You went over there to straighten it out.
Correct.
And it is your claim that he kicked your car and dented it.
Correct.
He says he hit you, but he didn't hit your car. Who do you live with?
I live on my own now.
At the time of this incident?
I lived with my mother.
And you?
With my mother also.
So after this incident, you moved out?
That's correct.
Okay. Let's see if we can resolve this and make it nice. Okay, when did this happen?
On April 8th of 2003.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Teresa Smith.
Teresa, tell me what you told Sean in April of 2003.
Okay, well, Sean kept on calling the house like 2 or 3 times, and Donald got mad because I think he was waiting for a phone call from his girlfriend or something. And he got mad and he got in my face, started yelling at me, and
So Sean was out of the house?
Yeah, he was at work.
And you were at home?
Yeah.
You were living with them at the time?
Yes, I was.
With the 2 boys and their mother?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And so Donald got annoyed because Sean called, you were talking to him on the phone, and Donald was waiting for a phone call.
Yeah.
He got in your face and said what?
He was calling me the B word, telling me...
Saying nasty things to you?
Yeah, basically.
So you called Sean and told him?
Oh, I left the house. I left down the street to go call the police first, and then Sean.
Why the police?
Because he got in my face. I thought, you know, he raised his hand to me, so I thought he was going to hit me.
He did raise his hand?
Yes, he did.
Sean Cutts says his brother Donald Cutts kicked his car during an argument. Sean says he was confronting Donald because he yelled at his girlfriend.
Go ahead.
And so I left the house and I called the police. And then after I called the police, I called Sean to let him know what was going on.
And he came home?
And he came home, yes.
What happened when you came home, Sean?
I went down the street where she was in front of Big Lots, the payphone. Got her story of what happened. Went up to the house to find out what went on with my brother. We then got in an argument. Started
Who
yelling.
got into an argument?
Me and my brother. Started arguing in the front yard.
Tell me about the argument.
Basically, just asking him, you know, why are you getting in Teresa's face and why are you getting upset because I'm calling and so on and so forth.
What did he say? What was his response?
I really don't know. Just yelling and screaming. It was just kind of argument.
Okay. And then what happened?
Just kept arguing. He slapped me. I got in my car to drive away, and he kicked my car. And I drove off and went down the street to report to the police.
I'm listening.
Okay. The argument started on April 8th. I was waiting for a phone call that day. However, when my brother did call and Teresa did speak to him, I was in the middle of an important phone call with my fiance, and he tends to call for no apparent reason, anything that has to do with any importance at all. And
so your conversation with your fiance was important, and he was just calling to say hi.
That's correct, I assume.
I mean, but you weren't speaking to your fiance on the phone when he called.
Yes, I was. I answered the call waiting.
Well, if you answered the call waiting, then you would say call back.
Yeah, he said it was important, and so I let him speak to her.
Well, that happened once.
Yes.
And then?
Well, they tend to talk for just to say hi and see how everybody's doing. And I
each other.
Okay. Well, they talk.
That's what they do when they have nothing else to do.
Okay. Well, they were talking and
about, to you, nonsense. When you were talking to your fiance, somebody else might listen to it and say that's nonsense.
Yes.
Okay. So you were being judgmental. Your nonsense was more important than their nonsense.
Well,
Donald,
yes.
Your nonsense was more important than their nonsense. I want to know why you got in her face.
I did not get into her face. She overheard me from what I was saying to my mom about their situation, talking. I had to get off the phone. At that time, she started saying things in the other room.
Like what? Saying things to who?
Just mouthing off about the situation to me and my mom, just to let herself be heard. Then after that, it kind of escalated. I said something back, and we ended up just in a yelling match. Then I kept on telling her to get out of my face, get out of my face. Then she said she was going to call the cops and go down the street. And at that time, my brother came back up to the house, and he said the cops were called, and why'd I get in his girlfriend's face? And I said that we were both arguing and we were screaming at each other, and he said, well, you're going to jail, you're going to jail. He left the house and started to walk out. Well, he started mouthing off to me, so I walked out with him. He said some unpleasant things about my fiance, and so I went and slapped him when he was in his car. I just tapped him basically on his face because he made me mad. So at that time, he left, and I was proceeding to gather up my things to go over to my friend's house.
So you're saying at that point, yeah, you did nothing else. You didn't kick his car.
No, I didn't.
Can I see the pictures, please?
Yes.
How come you're not complaining about him hitting you?
Oh, I mean, he at least didn't punch me.
When did you take these photographs?
Right after the incident, when the cops pulled up.
Well, you may not have understood it, sir, but you kicked his car. As I'm looking at this car, and there's only one big, huge footprint on it. I mean, it's not the kind of car that's all banged up. That's it. One huge, big footprint. Let me see the estimate.
I chose the...
Did your mother ask you to leave the house, or did you decide to leave on your own?
She asked me to leave as well.
Okay. All right, you have one estimate for $405. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Have you always not gotten along, or is this just a recent thing?
Just little fights every now and then, brotherly, you know, family things.
Have you spoken to each other since April?
No, ma'am.
Listen, you can let it go on longer. It's over. Going to get the $405, going to fix your car. You getting married? You have the same fiance, or is that
Yes,
over?
I do.
You getting married soon?
Hopefully.
Okay. Why don't you just shake hands and make me feel better? Okay, good. Thank you. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 386 on the calendar, the matter of Simon versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Miss Simon, you hired the defendant to house sit for you when you were going away on vacation. You also
Right.
had pets, is that right?
Right.
And you had never used her services before, but she came highly recommended from somebody else.
Right.
It is your claim that while you were away, she allowed unauthorized people in the home.
Correct.
When you came home, you paid her.
Right.
And within a day or so of your arriving home, a neighbor told you that there had been people in the house. At that point, you claimed that you went back into the house, you checked around, and you found money that you had left in an unlocked drawer had been taken, $900 in $100 bills.
Correct.
And also that as a result of her allowing unauthorized people in the house, you decided to change the locks. So you are suing her for $1,000, which is for the locks and the $900. Ms. Smith says she did not take your money. She does not know who took your money, if any money was ever there. And she does acknowledge, I believe, that there were people in the house, people or persons in the house, that she had not asked your permission about before you left. Right?
Well, actually, when we were meeting before the job, I had asked if I could have people over, Your Honor.
You say people. She says your boyfriend over. You actually had somebody staying over.
I didn't ask.
That, just a second. Is that right?
Yes, I had
Sleeping
somebody
over.
stay the night.
Right, okay. Which certainly you hadn't discussed with her.
No, not that.
Right. Okay. How long have you been doing this kind of work?
Oh, I've been pet sitting for people that I've known for years.
Because you have a counterclaim. After you found this money missing, according to what I read, you stopped payment on her paycheck.
Correct. Yes.
So she's got a counterclaim for her paycheck and bank fees. When you've had people house sit for you before, is that right?
Correct.
When did you leave?
August 31st.
And when did you come home?
We got home about 3:30 on Thursday afternoon on September 11th.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Maltese, two boys and a girl.
And you came home and found them in pretty good shape?
They seemed very nervous.
Nervous, whatever. You found them in good shape.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't take them
yes.
to a psychiatrist. They were in
Yeah.
good shape.
Yeah.
They were fed, they were okay, they were
Right.
relatively clean.
Right.
All right. Now, when you came home, you paid her, so I assume that the house looked okay to you.
I didn't pay her the day we came home. I paid her on a Saturday.
So I assume that when you came home on Thursday, you looked at your house Thursday, you looked at your house Friday, you looked at your house Saturday morning, everything looked in order, and that's when you paid her.
Yes.
So there was nothing untoward in your house when you came home.
I wasn't aware of anything until...
Fine. Then what happened?
Then on Sunday, our neighbor across the street, who I asked to watch the house while we were gone, mentioned to me that the first day that we left, Chauncey had brought a lady with a baby over and stayed overnight there and also stayed there while she was at work. He also mentioned that there was a lot of cars going in and out of our driveway at our house, and one evening there was about 6 cars out there that I was not aware of, and then I stopped payment on the check on Sunday morning.
Why did you do that?
I stopped payment after I found that the $900 that I had hidden in my desk was missing.
Miss Simon, I want you to prove to me that there was $900 in your desk.
I have some ads here that I advertised a rainbow swing set. That's a very expensive swing set. I started advertising it at $2,800 and ended up advertising it again in Trader Publications 3 different times for $2,300. The third time I advertised it, I sold it. A fellow came to the house, bought it, gave me $1,800 in cash. That was all $100 bills.
Yes, go ahead. I don't have to look at it.
Okay.
And when was that?
And that was the end of May.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I kept the money in my office. We used it as cash here and there. So when we went to the movies, I didn't have to go to the ATM. When I went on vacation, I pulled out $600 of that money and put the $900 back, and I had it in an envelope that was marked. Every time I took money out, I would mark it that I took it out, and I put it back in the office I put it between papers and a whole file system. So this person that took the money, who I think was the person with the baby, had to go through this desk methodically to look for that money. And
Miss Simon, according to Miss Smith, You had certain rooms locked off while she was house sitting.
Yes.
What rooms did you have locked off?
We had the bonus room locked off because
Which one?
The bonus room, because we put our golf clubs in there. I had a bedroom locked up.
Why did you lock up the bedroom?
Because we had painting done, and all our figurines and expensive things were in boxes, and I wanted all that stuff wrapped, all locked up.
That's 2 rooms where you could have put this $900.
Right.
What else was locked up?
A closet in my bedroom.
Why did you lock up your closet?
Because I had my clothes and my jewelry in there.
Then you take out the $900 if you had $900 and you put it in your closet.
I wish I had thought of that, but
Well,
hadn't.
you can't blame her for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to accuse you of lying to me, but I'm saying to you that if I have cash and I take the trouble to lock up methodically certain rooms in the house for certain things, and don't go into your den, which you leave open, and take out an envelope full of cash, not figurines that you have to pawn, not something else, and put them in your closet along with your jewelry, I find that suspect.
Elmira Simon says pet sitter Chauncey Smith stole money from her home while she was away on vacation.
I don't buy, A, that there was $900 in cash in your desk, and B, even if there was, she's not responsible.
Well, someone had been in that desk. And
Well,
I
have no idea when that happened. Maybe it happened the Friday when you came home. Who is this person here?
This is my husband.
Maybe he took it on Friday. You know, I know you're laughing. I mean, I could make up a whole scenario.
Right.
You know, he's got a 22-year-old girlfriend who flies, and he wanted to give it to us so that they could go to Costa Rica together.
Believe me, I could...
Right, sir? I mean, I could make up a whole litany of stories. She's not the only one who's entitled to the house.
Okay, but believe me, I could kick myself for not thinking about that.
Simon, you got my drift?
Yeah, I got your drift.
You cannot establish the fact that even if you had this $900, that she had anything to do with taking it.
Well,
so therefore...
He saw the money before we left.
Listen to me. He may have seen the money before you left. He took it on Friday.
I think he would have
He took it on Saturday. I have no idea where your money is, if it was there at the beginning. And I tell you this, common sense indicates to me that somebody who's so methodical, who writes down every time they take out, who has an envelope, and on the envelope writes down September 1st took out $100, right? September 15th took out $200. That kind of person who's so methodical and who takes the trouble of locking 3 separate areas in the house doesn't take out this money, especially...
Let me tell you.
No. It's quiet. Especially when you say, you might have said, well, I forgot that I had the money there. That's possible. You know, sometimes listen, I'm speaking. Sometimes I take money and I'll put them in a boot. You know, I'll take a couple $100 or I'll take $20 or $40, put it in a boot for mad money. And then at my age, I forget. So that I forget that it's there. And all of a sudden I go put on a pair of shoes. I can't get my foot in the shoes. And it's because so if you said to me, I had the money in my desk drawer and I forgot. I say, well, you know, that's possible to have money in your desk drawer and forget about it. But that's not what you said. You said you went there right before you went on vacation and took out $600 to go with you on vacation. When you take out the envelope, you say, I have a locked room downstairs, I have a locked bedroom, and I have a locked closet. So I'm going to take the rest of this money, the rest of this $900, and I'm locking it up. Your lawsuit's dismissed. Now, let me get to your counterclaim.
All right.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. She had absolutely no right to put a stop payment on your check. Absolutely none. You shouldn't have had people over at the house. Whether you had people over at the house, shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely.
But there is no indication that having those people over at the house caused any damage to the house. The house looked perfect to her when she came home. She lived there 3 days, and then she came and paid you. And the dogs looked fine. So she had no basis to put a stop payment on your check, which was $335 on the counterclaim. Judgment for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think that the girl she had in the house with the baby took the money because she was in that house by herself.
In hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best decision, but I've pet sat before, but they're for people I know.
She had to go through my master bedroom to find out that my closet was locked. I mean, how would she know that unless she walked in there?
She told me before she left that she was locking the bedrooms. That's how I knew that they were locked.
I should have locked it up like I locked everything else up.
I'm sticking with pet sitting for people that I know and that I trust.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Page. Step forward, please.
Baker Vicki Young is suing her ex-boyfriend, machinist David Page, for the return of personal property and mental anguish. David is countersuing, also for the return of property and for defamation of character.
Ms. Young, I gather from your complaint that you and the defendant lived together for 15 or 16 years.
Yes.
You have no children together?
No.
But you had 3 children from previous marriage who, according to Mr. Page, he supported during those 15 years because you were not receiving child support, and he took care of you as a family. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
This is your complaint. Your complaint says that there came a time when you had an argument. According to you, he accused you of cheating. According to him, it was something else, and that you were jealous and he couldn't take it anymore. He locked you out of the house, and you claim that he has certain property that is rightfully yours that he will not let you get. So that's what your lawsuit is about.
Yes.
Correct? And you're also suing for mental anguish. I'm not interested in you. If you had enough of him, you should have left him before. You don't get compensated for mental anguish. He wasn't good to you, you should have packed up your bag and left. Got it?
Right.
Mr. Page says, on the other hand, that you took property from him that you were not entitled to take. He doesn't have any property that belongs to you, and that you defamed his character. He's going to tell me about that, and he wants to be compensated. So when and under what circumstances did you leave it's not the marital home, the cohabitation home, for want of a better word?
August 21st, and it was a Friday morning, about 4:30 in the morning.
So what happened on August 21st?
He was mad at me. I was in bed. He had gotten up, took a shower, came back, and put his forearm down on my neck, pushed my face down into the pillow, and I couldn't breathe, so I had to move the pillow. And he told me that I was out cheating on him the night before, and that he wanted me out, and he wanted me to bring the dogs to the pound. So that day is when I moved, and he pulled my hair a couple times.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Vicki Young says ex-boyfriend David Page attacked her and then kicked her out of their home. David says her story is false, and he's countersuing for defamation of character.
What items do you claim are in the house that belong to you?
Well, a bike jack is one of them. And,
a bike jack?
Yeah.
Do you have her bike jack?
She is in possession of that. That was in the storage unit.
Okay. What's next?
The printer and the fax machine.
Printer and fax machine.
Yes, I do have that.
Okay, printer and fax machine. She's going to pick that up.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
He does have my truck key. I've asked for my truck
key.
Yeah, the key
You have
to
her
my
truck key?
Yes, I do, and she also has a spare key and remote control for my truck.
Okay, will you return that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Could you give that to him, please? And do you have her truck key?
Yes, I do.
Here we go. This is so easy. Not even breaking a sweat. Have a sense, Mr. Page, you're just happy to have it over. The exchanging of the keys.
Phew.
What else?
That's the only thing I have proof of.
Perfect. Now, Mr. Page, what do you want to tell me, sir?
Basically, you're making it sound like this was just a sudden thing. We had problems in the relationship for a long time.
Listen to me. Not Oprah. Got it?
Okay, what would you like me to...
I would like to know about your lawsuit, sir.
Okay.
You have a counterclaim.
Yes, when...
You want to tell somebody about your relationship? You go on Oprah.
When she moved out, she moved in with a friend of hers, and I had tried contacting her about some mutual property, and next thing I knew, I was getting a stalking petition against me.
What happened to that stalking petition?
I went to court for it, and her friend never showed up, so it was dismissed from court.
What do you mean her friend? What her friend?
It's her friend she was staying with. She's the one that pulled the stalking order.
Well, then,
okay.
That's not defamation that you can attribute to her.
Well, basically, what happened after that, once this got thrown out of court, the police department at home had told me to try to contact her before going to small claims court about the storage unit. So I tried calling her twice at work after the stalking petition was over, and next thing I know, 2 days later, I get a restraining order. And this time it was her that filed it.
Can I see it?
Yes, you can.
Do you have a copy of the petition that she filed, sir? What charges she made against you?
Yes, basically it's what she had told you, that I had put my arm on her neck. But this was a month and a half later that she filed this restraining order. The day previous to her filing
Okay,
that
I got it. What took you so long?
My friend had filed for the restraining order because he was calling her in 6 in the morning.
I'm not interested in your friend. I'm interested in...
Well, I was included on that restraining order, that's why. When she went and filed it, she asked if everybody in the family was included or in her house, and they said yes, so I was included. When she had problems at home with her family and stuff, that she couldn't go to the court date, so it was dismissed. So that's when I filed, because after that he kept calling me at work and harassing people at my work.
Have anything else you want to tell me?
Well, yes. The money I had paid on that storage unit, she locked me out of the unit right after I paid for another month on that storage unit, where I couldn't get a hold of my property out of that unit.
So?
I had some weightlifting equipment that was worth money in there.
Where is it?
Right now it's still in the unit because she only gave me 2 days to get it out once she switched it back to give me access to the unit on October 28th.
So now you have it. You have access to the unit so you can get your
No,
weight
I don't,
stuff
because
out?
she never paid for the other month on that unit. Now I would have to go in and pay another month on that unit to get my property, which I had paid on that unit in September.
How much money are we talking about for the month?
$68 a month.
$68. After 16 years, $68 is what it's about?
No, actually, I earned 3/4 of the income during that time. I raised her children.
You're absolutely
for all those
right.
years.
I just really want to know if you want me to bother with the $68.
Well, the $68, like I said, that's only a petty thing because that's what I had paid.
It is petty. I'm glad you say it's petty. It is petty. You want me to bother with the $68? Did you lock him out of the storage unit?
I did at one point before.
Good. And it's going to cost you $68. On your complaint, you get the printer and the fax to be delivered in a box 5 days. She'll come and pick it up, or she'll come with a police officer to pick it up. How do you want her to deal with that?
He can bring it to my son's house. He knows where they live. He's been...
Is that good?
Okay, yeah.
Fine. Good. Printer and the fax, and you owe him $68 for the storage unit that you locked him out of. That's all. And then he can go pay for the $68 and get his weightlifting equipment. Good. Goodbye. Good luck. Have a happy life.
Your Honor, this is case number 323 on the calendar in the matter of McGee versus Dixon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have seats.
Which one of you two young ladies is Tanisha?
I am, Your Honor.
That's you. Miss McGee, according to what I read, you own a beauty salon.
Yes, Your Honor, Barbie Beauty Salon.
And Tanisha is your employee.
Yes. She's my boss, Your Honor.
How long have you worked for her?
About 7 months.
On July 29th of this year, you were working in the store?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not in the store?
That is correct, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, the defendant came into the store with her mother and broke the door to the store, causing damage in the amount of approximately $800. Ms. Dixon said she did not break the door. It was your employee, Tanisha, who broke the door. So far, do I have your stories correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Miss McGee, why don't you have a seat for a moment? Because you weren't present that day, and I want to hear from Miss Dixon and her mother, who I'm sure is present. Now, there is no question that Tanisha, what's your last name?
Jones, Your Honor.
Miss Jones was in the store. Were there any other technicians in the store?
No, ma'am.
She was alone. And there is no question that on that date in July that you did go to the store together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did not go to the store for the purpose of having your hair done.
No.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You went to the store for the purpose of a confrontation. Confrontation means to confront. Doesn't necessarily mean to fight. To confront Miss Tanisha Jones about a problem that she was having with your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you say in your
correct.
answer. So you went there with your mother.
And also my boyfriend.
And and the boyfriend.
He was there too.
So 3 of you went to confront Miss Jones about something that had to do with your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
So now I want you to tell me what that was.
Well, there's been a problem for a little bit over a year. Miss Jones and my sister, they were working in the same beauty salon. There was a bit of jealousy going on between them. My sister holds a cosmetology license, and at the time, Miss Jones did not have one. That was where the jealousy came in. Miss Jones was harassing my sister. They were bothering her things, you know, throwing stuff away. They, you know, used to turn her clients away.
Who's they?
Well, Miss Jones and other people that also worked in the shop.
So it wasn't just Miss Jones who didn't like your sister. There were other people who didn't like your sister in the shop.
People that were under her, like maybe her shampoo girls.
Okay. So according to you, Miss Jones was harassing your sister for a long period of time, and according to you, causing other people to harass your sister at her place of employment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what did you go to the shop for?
We went to ask
She doesn't
her.
work there anymore, does she?
No, ma'am. Miss Jones had my sister fired from the shop that they were working at together.
Oh. So according to you, Tanisha had your sister fired from her job.
Yes,
when was your sister fired from her job?
I'm not exactly for sure, but she can tell you what time, when she was
What
fired.
month?
April.
You didn't go to the shop until July. So between April and July, tell me what happened.
There was still the jealousy going on, but Miss Jones went to work at a different shop. The first shop they work at together is called Capital Cuts. That's not the shop Miss McGee owns. The shop that Miss McGee owns is called Uptown Styles. And that is where Miss Jones was working. That is where the confrontation happened.
No, I understand that, Miss Dixon. What I want to know is if you claim that Tanisha had your sister fired from her job after harassing her in April, what precipitated the confrontation 3.5 months later?
Because even though my sister was not working at Capital Cuts, she had friends that were there. We used to still go up there and get services. Even when we were going up there to get services, she still was harassing my sister, even to the point where they barred my sister from that shop. And there was no reason for them to bar my sister from that shop.
Who's they?
The management.
Okay, now, was Miss Jones still working at that shop?
Yes, ma'am.
When they barred your sister from the shop, Miss Jones was still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's the background of the case. Now, you want to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. That's not the complete background. During this harassment of my daughter, Fatima, Your Honor, my daughter, Fatima Dixon, did file a formal complaint against Miss Tanisha Jones and the management to the State Board of Cosmetology. On the incident day, that was the day Miss Jones received the complaint.
Just a second, which incident day?
At the shop where she said the door was kicked in.
You mean in July?
On July, she got the reply from the State Board.
Yes.
And we do have that.
Listen to me. Whatever the State Board told Tanisha, whether it was good or bad for her, I don't know. But she didn't go to your house. You went to her house.
That's only after, when she received that letter, Your Honor, she started back with the phone harassment, calling my daughter on a new job that is neither one of these salons that they are talking about now.
Just 1 second. So what you're telling me is after Tanisha was notified of a decision by the Board of Cosmetology, she began harassing your daughter, and that was the same day?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Air-braider Tanisha Jones says Queen Dixon kicked in the front door to her place of business. Queen says Tanisha had been harassing her sister.
Were you notified on the 29th of July of this year of a determination by the State Board of Cosmetology?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that determination?
They complained that I was using chemicals in the shop, which I do not do.
And what did the State Board tell you?
That you're not supposed to, you're supposed to have your license to use chemicals in a shop, basically.
Was your license suspended?
No, ma'am. I
Anything
became
happened?
the first licensed hair braider in the state of Virginia.
So when you received that notification, did you call Miss Dixon?
No, ma'am.
Her mother and her sister seemed to say that you did.
No, ma'am.
Who received the phone call?
Miss Dixon received it at a shop that doesn't have anything to do with those two that she's talking about.
Now step up. Okay, on the 29th of July, you received a phone call from Tanisha?
Yes, on the July 29th, I was on my way to work, and when I got to work, I got a phone call on the shop phone.
And
it was Miss Jones, and she asked me why I wrote the state board, and she got the cussing and yelling and just...
Why, just a second, she said, why did you write the state board, and what did you say?
I told her it was her problem and she needs to deal with it. So once I hung up on Miss Jones, she called my cell phone back 2 or 3 times, and she called the shop phone back 2 or 3 times.
Did anybody pick up the phone?
They picked up the shop phone, and I didn't. And I told them I was not speaking to her.
Okay. What court did you go to with regard to your harassment complaint?
We went to Norfolk Criminal Court, ma'am.
And what happened with that case?
They threw all the cases out except for Miss Jones' case. She got fined, if I'm not mistaken, for the phone harassment. And my sister, she got fined for violating her bond agreement.
What bond agreement?
Miss Jones had us arrested after all of this.
May I please say something?
Mm-hmm.
I was not fined at that court. Everything was dismissed except her provoking her bond. She was on bond.
On bond for what?
For harassing me. And she came back to my job.
Just a second. When was the incident where she was on bond for harassing you?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I don't
What
have the
month?
date.
Before or after July 29th?
After.
So she had a restraining order.
Yes.
That was issued against her on July 29th.
Yes, and she was arrested. After that incident, she was arrested.
For the incident of July 29th?
Yes.
Eventually we get there. All right, Ms. Dixon, what happened with that case?
Well, the warrants that she took out were...
What happened to the case?
They all were dismissed. Those 5 were dismissed. There were 2 for destruction of property for me and my sister, and also 2 for threatening to do bodily harm and kill, and 1 for assault and battery. They all were dismissed.
Well, there was no assault and battery that I'm hearing about here, only breaking the door.
Can I
Vandalism.
speak for a minute, Your Honor?
No, you weren't there. Sit down.
These are all the arrest
Could I see?
And all the bond papers.
Where is the certificate of disposition on these cases?
We weren't given any.
You weren't given a certificate of disposition?
No, ma'am.
But you were given this protective order that you were to stay away from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me what happened on the 29th of July.
I was sitting in the barbershop in Uptown Styles by myself. I was on my cell phone, and I heard a boom. When I heard the boom, I saw Queen Dixon come into the barbershop, and her mother came in behind her. When they came into the barbershop, they walked directly at me, fussing and screaming. They're going to kick my ass. They're going to beat me up because they were saying I didn't have a license to braid in that barbershop. Her mother hit me in my chest, and then she jumped in my face and dared me to hit her mother back. So I grabbed my rat tail comb and yelled for them to get out of the building. They left from out the building, but they continued to kick on the door, and that's when I called the police. And then I notified Ms. McGee about the incident that just occurred.
Okay. Do you have photographs of the door?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, step up, Ms. McGee, please. Okay, let's hear you.
She's only telling half of the story. First of all, she testified in court that when we came to the shop, we kicked it in before we even came in. That was a lie. Before we could even say anything to her, she said, "May I help you?" And I asked her, "What's the problem with you and my sister?" I never had a problem with Miss Jones. So I felt like it wouldn't be a problem for me to talk to her like an adult. I'm 21 years old. I asked her,
why did you bring your boyfriend and your mother along?
We were all in the same car. We had just came from downtown trying to get restraining orders on her. They told us we couldn't get a restraining order because there was no domestic violence.
But they did.
I asked Ms. Jones what was the problem between her and my sister. She stated there was no problem. And I said, well, there obviously is a problem. You keep calling my sister, coming to her house, getting her fired from off her job. There must be a problem.
I want to explain something to Ms. Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what you said to her.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I
Ms. Dixon,
said to her.
That's what you maybe were thinking before you got there. But that's not what you said to her when you walked in.
Yes, ma'am. That is exactly
no, I don't believe
what
you.
I said.
I don't believe you.
Well, madam, that's exactly what I said.
It's not what you said.
As the confrontation went on, the reason why we got so heated into a big argument is because when I asked her again, what was the problem? Why can't she leave my sister alone? She threw a nasty sexual slur. She said, well, I think your sister's I think she wants to eat me. That's where the conversation got heated. It wasn't heated in the beginning.
Just a second. Did she hit you?
No, ma'am. There was no
Just a second.
between me and her.
So she said something that you didn't like about your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
That's why I didn't hit her. I
So,
never hit her.
but then you said it became more heated. How did it become more heated?
Because that is what upset me.
What did you do when it upset you?
We started fussing.
Explain to me fussing. I want to know what fussing means.
I said, well, you need to leave my sister alone. Stop calling her house. Stop harassing her.
Exactly like you're saying it to me. You need to stop calling my sister's house and not harassing her. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you said to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't believe you. Where was your boyfriend when all this was going on?
Standing near the door. The shop isn't that big.
I don't have to hear it.
But it's so much missing, Your Honor.
I don't care
please.
what's missing. Listen to me carefully. You're the adult. You have your daughter and you have your daughter's boyfriend. If your two children are intent on having a confrontation with somebody, it is your responsibility as a mother to say, let's not get into what is potentially an altercation. According to your daughter, you had already been to the authorities to try to get a protective order against her that day. So you're going there and you are really angry. And you don't go there by yourself. He's standing at the door and the two of you walk in. Whatever happens that day in your confrontation, her door is damaged.
It didn't happen like that, Your Honor.
Oh, listen to me.
She perjured herself then, and she's perjuring herself now.
Listen to me. I don't care.
She perjured herself then, and she's perjuring herself
Miss Dixon,
now.
I don't care if this door got broken because she slammed the door. It's still your fault. You made an error in judgment by allowing your daughter and her boyfriend to confront Miss Jones in Miss McGee's shop. And if this door got broken with your foot, or your foot, it's still your fault. Let me see a bill for the door.
It did not happen.
Let me see the bill for the door. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $715. That's all. Step out.
What is your excuse?
You will have a problem, too, if you're working in a shop beside me and it's like 12, 13 people waiting to get their hair done and no one wants to sit in your chair.
She is the jealous one. She's the one that's uneducated, and she's always having a problem with me because I'm the one that's actually in school doing something with my life.
Drama, nobody wants drama. We just want to work.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gilbert versus Roberts. Step forward, please.
Housekeeper Deborah Gilbert is suing her cousin, grill cook Danielle Roberts, for damage to her belongings. Deborah says that while babysitting Danielle's children, one of them set the room on fire.
According to your complaint, Miss Gilbert, you took in your cousin and her children into your home because they really had no place to go.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're suing her because you claim that her 2-year-old child started a fire in your bedroom, and you want her to compensate you for the damage that that fire caused.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened on the night of this fire. Where was Miss Roberts?
At work at the Waffle House.
And who was watching her children?
Her children were home with me.
And how old are her children?
The twins are 12.
12-year-old twins and the 2-year-old boy?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me what happened with the 2-year-old.
When Miss Roberts left to go to work, she put the kids in the room that they slept in. He was to watch TV while the twins did their homework. However, they could not control him. At that time, one of my grandchildren was there visiting. She and I were in the bed, the twins.
How old was your grandchild who was visiting?
She was 2 also.
So your 2-year-old granddaughter was in your bed?
Yes, she was in my bed asleep.
Go ahead.
The twins kept screaming and hollering, and finally they said, Auntie, you need to get Rondarius because he won't stop. He just keep acting bad.
Mm-hmm.
So they came again and said, Auntie, you need to let Rondarius come in here with you. We got to do our homework. So I said, okay, just bring him and let him sit right there in the chair. One of the twins, Tanika, put him in the recliner. And I said, Rondarius, be quiet. I said, because Auntie is going to sleep. And he would just sit there in the chair, and he still made noise. And I guess sometime or another, I dozed off. The next thing I know is that my daughter came into the room and said, get up, it's a fire.
What started the fire?
I had up on a table, I was burning a scented candle. And I don't know if he put paper or if he put some clothes on the fire and started the fire.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is he was able to reach that candle
Yes, he was.
Then you should have watched him more carefully.
It was not my responsibility.
Yes, ma'am, it was your responsibility.
No, it was not.
Oh, yes, it was,
No, it
Miss
was
Gilbert.
not.
I'm speaking. You're not.
Okay.
She's at work. You assumed responsibility for your 2-year-old cousin when you said, come on into the room, put him in the chair, and you've got 2 babies in there, 2 years old. What you are doing, burning a candle, I have no idea. Why you would sue this lady, you're lucky she's not suing you. You're the adult. You're supposed to make sure that the children are safe. You fell asleep in a room with a lighted candle with 2 2-year-olds, and one of them was awake. One of them was brought into your room because his sisters couldn't control him. And you tell him to go sit in the recliner and behave while you fell asleep? Miss Gilbert, don't be ridiculous. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Number 373 on the calendar in the matter of Tippett versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Tippett, according to what I've read, you met the defendant in some sort of a chat place on the internet.
Correct.
And then there came a time when you moved into her home.
That's correct.
And it is your claim that she kept and/or sold some of your personal property when she locked you out of the house at some point after an altercation.
That's correct.
Ms. Coleman says that she has none of your personal property, that you were abusive to her, that you choked her, were assaultive. That's the reason you were locked out of the house. And that you did have certain property there, some of which you took, and the rest of it she tried to get you to come and get several times. You didn't come and get the properties. She put it out and she disposed of it. She's counterclaiming for the assault. She's counterclaiming for some rent that she says you owe her, and for storage fees for storing the property that you left behind. That's nonsense.
Right.
You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did you move in with her and why, Mr. Tippett?
I moved in on April 7th of this year, 2003. The reason I moved in with her is I was going to be homeless or having to move back in with my mother in Atlanta, Georgia.
Why?
For being unemployed for an extended period of time, and I was writing a book.
Is what you're telling me is that you planned on moving in with Miss Coleman and not paying any money to her?
There was an arrangement for me to pay weekly $70.
Did you have your own room?
No, I slept on the sofa in the living room.
Okay. So now you're living there and you move in on the 7th of April.
Correct.
2003. When did you move out?
Well, I left on the 30th of August. I didn't move on the 30th of August. I was not allowed to get anything.
Well, why don't you tell me what happened?
On the 29th of August, I went out to get some dinner, and when I returned around 8:30, 8:45, the door had been deadbolted from the inside. I knocked on the door, spent 30 minutes outside using cell phone, calling 911 to get assistance to have her open the door to let me in. She refused to open the door, and she refused to open the door because she said I owed her $30, and I had paid her $40 cash that Friday, and the $30 that I did not pay her, I explained to her, was because I had spent $20 filling her car up with gas that Monday, and twice during the week when she had no money, I had loaned her $5 each time for lunch at work. So the reason she barred the door and was not going to let me back in was because I owed her $30.
Did you get any of your property at any time after August 30th?
Well, I stayed the night after the police came and were called after I kicked the door in.
Oh, so you kicked the door in?
Well, I kicked it once and the door opened and it shattered the door jamb. So yes, I kicked the door in.
Were the police with you when you kicked the door in?
Were the police what?
With you?
No.
Well, what happened when you kicked the door in?
Well, I had a burrito that had been going cold for about an hour. I sat down on the sofa and ate it.
What'd she do when you kicked the door in?
She called the police, and I sat and waited and let her know when the police had arrived, and we talked to the police when I got there.
And you stayed the night that night? Is that
yes,
right?
I did.
And you left the next day?
Left the next day.
What did you leave?
I left everything.
Like what's everything?
All of my computer, my bed, most of my clothing, every belonging that I had other than what I could carry in my arms.
Did you ever get your computer?
No, I did not.
Where's his computer?
I had to sell it to pay for glasses after 3 weeks of him not coming back to get it. And I had to have glasses for work. And I had no money to pay for it. That he broke.
How much did you get for
I got
the computer?
$150. And I brought...
What else did you sell?
That's all I sold.
Where's his bed?
The bed is at my apartment. He gave me the bed before he moved in because mine was too short for him to sleep on. And he didn't have a place to store mine.
I thought he was sleeping on the sofa.
He didn't want to sleep on the sofa after he moved in. He wanted me to sleep on the sofa because he worked harder than I did, and the sofa was too short for him.
Did he come back to the house with a police officer to get his other property?
No, we tried to get him to. The lieutenant that investigated the case and he was supposed to have taken his stuff the day he assaulted me. He would not make an effort.
I want you to tell me about the assault, Miss Coleman.
Okay.
He kicked in the door.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when he kicked in the door?
He took my cell phone and the home phones and kept them to himself that night so that I could not call the police. This was after the door had been broken down, and it took him 30 minutes to knock down that door with a deadbolt on. It wasn't just one time. He kicked it all, and all the neighbors called the cops. I had 5 sets.
Why had you locked him out?
Because he would not pay rent. I told him the only way you're going to stay with me is if we get your own room, and your name is going to go on the lease, so you're obligated to pay the rent. He would not do that. He said he wasn't going to pay me rent, he wasn't going to pay anything. That I could get a 2-bedroom, but I could pay for it myself. And I had gone to work. He had a job, but he quit it because he didn't want to work. He wanted to write his book, and he wanted me to support him while he did that.
What was the entire rent on the apartment?
$600, $589 actually a month.
That includes all the utilities?
No, ma'am. He had to have cable TV, so we had the cable TV. We had electric. We had phone that he called his mother on. Also, when he moved in, he agreed to go to work and pay me rent. After a month, I had to make him go to work. I called the cops. I wanted him to leave. He would not leave. He said he refused to leave.
Robert Tippett says ex-roommate Sally Coleman owes for the return of his belongings. Sally says she kicked him out because he tried to choke her.
Mr. Tippett, I'm not buying it, sir. You kicked in the door. Who did you expect to pay for the door?
Oh, I was quite prepared to pay for the door.
Good, you just did with your computer.
What?
You just did with your computer. Paid for the door that you kicked in.
And also my glasses that he broke during the assault.
Well, tell me about the assault. When was this assault? As far as I heard, he broke down the door and came in and sat down on the couch and ate a burrito.
Right. He told the police that he would leave the next morning. He agreed to. I knew he had a paycheck in his pocket, which he wouldn't share with me, as usual. And he said he would get all of his stuff the next morning. It was like 11 o'clock the next morning. He still was making no effort to leave. I started putting his stuff on the couch. I said, okay, get your stuff. Get out of my house. He wouldn't make any effort. So I started to take his stuff out and put it on the porch. He grabbed me by the hair, slung me around, slung me on the floor, put his arm around my neck, tried to choke me until I almost fainted. Then he pulled me up off the floor by the hair on the back of my head and told me he was going to kill me for what I'd done to him.
Is that right, Mr. Tippett?
No, that's a complete fabrication, Your Honor.
Really? I mean, none of this happened.
I had
Your
a
Honor,
police
this
report.
woman is a liar, and she has a history of doing things that prove that she's a liar.
Mr. Tippett,
As this
Mr.
evidence shows right here that
Sure,
I
let me
owed her
see.
nothing. This is where I went down and paid the Fort Worth court $309.98 just a couple of weeks before this event even occurred.
Yes.
That's why she had no money, and I loaned her $10.
For what? That was my...
That was for writing bad checks, and she called me several times during the day on that day and said that she was going to be arrested for not being able to pay that $309.98.
That was my money. He got my paycheck and took it down there to pay because he
That's a
wasn't
lie,
working,
Your Honor.
and I couldn't
That's
get
a
off
lie.
work to go.
That is a receipt that has my name on it.
I know it has your name on it. She said it was her money. Where'd you get $309.98 from?
That was money that I had.
From where?
From work.
What work? You told me you didn't have a job.
I never told you that. I was an independent contractor for a local courier service in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I worked it was 5 to 6 days a week from 8 till 5.
Mr. Tippett, Mr. Tippett, don't think so. Who are you?
A friend of Robert's.
Is he living with you now?
No.
Good.
I have a...
Shh. Stand up. How long have you been his friend?
Since September, the mid-September of this year.
Of this year?
Correct.
Then you know nothing.
Okay.
Sit down. Except for one thing. How many days a week was he working starting in mid-September?
He started work in, I think it was right at the beginning of October.
Thank you. Sit down.
You're welcome.
Happy. Your computer paid for the kick-down door. Listen to me very carefully. Is he out of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you change the
Thank you.
locks?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Goodbye. Have a happy life. Don't take anybody into your home that you
Right.
met on the internet. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Goodbye. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was so hostile to me that I couldn't stand to leave. I was afraid of him.
That's total fabrication.
The final straw was when he kicked down my door and assaulted me.
I kicked the door in. That's all I did.
Live by myself the rest of my life.
Get a dog.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ballounis versus White. Step forward, please.
Executive search consultant David Ballounis is suing his former employee, 23-year-old waitress Erin White, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Erin says David gave her the money with the hopes of having a relationship.
Mr. Ballounis, you claim a loan to the defendant for a car.
Correct.
And she said there was never a loan, that you made a gift to her of this money for the car. And in addition to that, she says that she did some work for you. How do you know her?
We had met when I was working on one of my rental properties. Erin approached me and asked if she could help out on some of the properties in order to supplement her income.
Help out doing what?
Painting, cleaning, wallpapering.
What kind of rental properties do you have?
I have townhomes, condominiums, and some single-family homes.
And did she do any work for you?
Yes, she did.
When did she start to do work for you?
She began work someplace in the neighborhood of 7903.
Tell me about the car loan.
The car loan is something that she requested of me. I know she had a difficult time getting around town, and she first approached me and asked for a loan for $2,000, saying she didn't have quite enough to be able to buy the car. And then in the next conversation, she came to the office and said, "Can you make it $2,500?"
And when was that, sir?
That was the day that I wrote the check, which would have been August the 21st of this year.
So she had already been doing work for you since July.
Correct.
And been paid.
Correct.
So you gave her a check for $2,500. What was the agreement as far as repayment?
A repayment I had actually, because Erin, at least at that time, said she was interested in doing more work. I thought my downside risk was somewhat limited, and she seemed like a reasonable person. So I had her sign a promissory note as well as an amortization schedule.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
Okay.
May I also see that, please?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On the money that I had borrowed from Mr. Ballounis, there was a period of time that was for about a week and a half before I had asked for the money from him, which I was not paid. When I had gone back through, recaulked things, done my final cleaning, I had waxed down the cabinets, scrubbed the hardwood floors, which was, I feel, as far as $2,500 was payment for the work that I had done that week.
I didn't understand the word you just said. Is what you're trying to tell me?
As far as the $2,500.
I'm speaking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. David Ballounis says former employee Erin White owes for an unpaid car loan. Erin says David was trying to buy her affections.
Ms. White, is what you're telling me that after you received this loan, which you now acknowledge was a loan, is that right?
As far as the loan, yes. You asked me a question.
No, I
Was
didn't
it a
ask you.
loan?
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Ms. White, what happened was you said, "May I see that?"
Correct.
And I said, "Yes." And I handed it to you, and then you started to speak. I didn't ask you any question at all. But since you did volunteer to speak,
okay,
I want to try to understand what you're telling me now.
Okay.
You did use the word when I took the loan from Mr. Ballounis.
Right.
For $2,500, I then went back to the condominiums and did some caulking and did some cleaning down of cabinets and did some polishing, and that was to be used towards this $2,500 loan?
No, ma'am.
Oh, well, then you want to explain it to me?
Okay.
Let's start out with, there was therefore, Bert, can I have that?
Sure.
There was therefore a loan for $2,500.
Correct.
Good. Now, I say this because I've read your answer very carefully that you swore to.
Right.
And in your answer, you never say that there was a loan. In your answer, you say, "The money the plaintiff is asking for is money he willingly gave me to buy a car. I compensated him through work that I did." And then, of course, you say that the reason he gave you this money was because he wanted more of a social relationship than anything else. That's what you also claim in here. But nothing in here, you don't acknowledge a loan in any way.
May I speak?
And you also say here, I never signed an agreement to pay him anything.
Okay, may I speak now to try to counteract with what you're saying? The paper that I signed, if it was a loan or not, a loan may mean advancement of either the money as far as I can work off to pay you back the loan, or I can give you money for back the loan. As far as me working it off or me giving him, it's the same thing.
No, that's
yes,
not true.
Well, to me,
no,
it
no,
is.
no.
Yes.
No, no, no.
Yes.
Dear, listen to me. If you sign an agreement that gives you a loan schedule, then what you do is have an accounting of, well, after I took out this loan and the September payment was due, I didn't give him a September payment, but I did caulking, painting, papering in the amount of $570, deducting that from the loan. You sign it, he signs it, and you deduct it.
But that's not what that was.
Well, then now you can explain it to me.
Okay. The money, I had asked Mr. Blennis for a loan, but prior to when he gave me the loan, there was a period of time which he hadn't paid me. I have two of my checks. He would give me pay stubs. You know, I would get copies of the checks every time I cashed them. But I had never gotten from that week. And for about a week, he was paying me around $600 a week
Ms. White,
to do my
what you're
work.
suggesting to me that before he gave you this money, you had worked for him and he hadn't compensated you.
Right.
That's bull.
Whatever.
Because you are an intelligent, articulate woman. And as an intelligent, articulate woman, you would never have signed a loan agreement that said that you owed him this money plus 8% interest. You would have said, well, before I'm speaking. Before I sign this, let's deduct what you owe me. So instead of $2,500, I worked for you for this week and that week, and you hadn't paid me, so that I only owe you $1,600. And you would not have signed a payment schedule for him.
I didn't know that's what I signed. I was in a hurry to leave, so I kind of just ran through and signed my name on the things, knowing that I was going to work off the money to him.
Is this a witness for anything?
Yes.
To what?
To the fact that he knows how many times I tried to contact Mr. Blennis, I could get no answer. The lady that rents from Mr. Blennis...
Just contact him for what?
He says I've had a hard time getting... that I never called him back. I did try to call him back. I left messages with his office. I mean, I can't go pay off the money.
For what? He didn't say anything about not calling him back.
But I'm supposed to be in... This is my only means of money at that time. I had no job but him. So how
then
am I
what
supposed
you're
to pay
telling...
him
Listen
back
to me.
other than by my labor?
You don't want to say anything, do you?
Well...
You want to say...
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
you want to say something? Are you sure you want to say something?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make the statement that she was supposed to my knowledge, was supposed to work off the money that he gave her. It was supposed to be in where he loaned her the money and she did work for his company, and they was going to deduct that from the payment.
Thank you very much. Sit down.
All right.
May I say something else?
Let me explain something to you, sir. That's not what she just told me. What she just told me was that she had already worked for him and he hadn't paid her.
That's also it.
Just a second. She had already done work for him and he hadn't paid her. And a big chunk of this money was for money that he already owed her. Are you following me?
I'm following you. It was supposed
Good!
All right, well, you don't have to scream. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know why you're here.
Well, cause I'm being a witness, that's why.
Well, you have nothing important to say.
Okay,
Judgment for the
whatever.
plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Pay your bills.
Parties are excused. You may step. Your Honor, this is case number 359 on the calendar in the matter of Chancellor versus Chancellor. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Cassie, this is your dad.
Right.
You're 18 now?
Yeah.
You've been working for a long time, working at a restaurant for a long time, and according to your complaint, your dad's been holding your money, putting it in a bank account, and the understanding was when you turned 18, the money would be yours.
Right.
Turned 18, and lo and behold, Dad says that you're not mature enough to take responsibility for that kind of money. So I assume you think that I'm going to be able to resolve this for you.
I hope so.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
You have evidence of that bank account?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? How old were you when you started to work, Cassie?
I was 16.
And how many days a week did you work?
During the summers, I worked full-time, and usually 2 to 3 during school.
And how much of your paycheck would you turn over to your dad?
Almost all of it, except for about $20, $40 a week.
What happened when you turned 18?
I was told that I would get it at graduation, which was 2 weeks later, so I wasn't too worried about
Graduation from high school?
Right.
Is that right, sir?
Yes.
So?
So graduation comes, and I asked my stepmom, because it was in my stepmom's name, and she told me that she had changed it into my father's name only.
Are you living at home?
I live with my mother now.
And how did that come about?
I moved in with my dad, finished high school, and I always wanted to move back. So
Do they live in the same town?
No.
Okay, so what's left in this bank account, which is all hers, is that right?
That's right.
Is $6,099.48?
Not now. There's only like 5,700.
Where did the rest of the money go?
I gave it to her.
He slowly gave me money, $100 here, $200 to pay my ex-boyfriend back.
So, I'll hear you.
She came to live with, I was divorced, and her mother had her come live with me after she started skipping school and couldn't control her anymore. So we took her in, and she started school, and then I told her before summer came, I wanted her to get a job so she could...
That's when she was 16?
16.
And she did do that?
She did do that.
And for an 18-year-old young lady to be able to accumulate $6,000 by the time she's 18 is quite impressive.
Yeah, well...
And graduate from high school?
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing now?
I'm just starting a job at Bimart.
Any desire to go on with your education?
Yeah, I definitely want to. Money's been a problem doing that. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but definitely.
Go ahead.
So after she moved in, she started saving money, and meanwhile we'd been having a lot of troubles with skipping school, and it wasn't her name originally, and then she started taking some out and started spending it foolishly. We'd been some family counseling, and he'd suggested that she would be a potential for a runaway with that much money. And we didn't want her, you know, we wanted her to finish high school and
Well, she did
graduate.
that. So
Yes,
she did that. She finished high school, and she's 18 years old.
But, you know, that's not the whole story. I mean, it came down to graduation. We heard the rumor that she was going to go to Mexico with her money. She, you know, when she got her money, she was going to Mexico, and they were going to spend it all.
Who's they?
Well...
She and her boyfriend? Is this your boyfriend?
Right.
Yeah. She and her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were sneaking around together, and we, you know, against this boy has got another girl pregnant, and he's going with my daughter.
Is that right, sir?
Yes.
And I didn't think too much of that.
How old are you?
20.
You have a child already?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is that child?
1 year and 2 months.
Is that your only child?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I work in construction.
You're living at home with your mother?
Yeah.
You think he's a good risk?
He's not with her.
I mean, you think he's a good risk for you?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy and takes very good care of me.
Okay. Listen, how many times have you been married?
This is my second marriage.
So you made one mistake?
That's right.
And how old were you when you made that mistake?
19.
Did you turn out okay?
Now I am.
Okay. You have a nice wife?
Yes.
You were responsible with your daughter?
Always.
What I'm telling you is, not only does the law say that you have to let go, but she's going to make her own mistakes whether you like it or not. And the law says that you can't hold on to this money. She's 18. It's her money. There's no issue with regard to the fact that it's her money. And you can only hope that she's smart enough to know how long it took her to accumulate this money. And if she lends any of it to him, she's a big idiot.
Actually, he lent me.
Good, I know that. I read he lent you money to buy a car, and you have to pay him back. What I'm telling you is, if you give anybody any money of this hard-earned money, except for tuition, except to a school, you're an idiot. But there comes a point when you have to say, is she going to be smarter when she's 20? Is she going to be smarter when she's 19? Is she going to be smarter when she's 25? You know, is this your oldest child?
No, it's my youngest.
How old is your oldest?
35 and 36.
Okay, 35-year-old. Boy or a girl?
Boy.
Married?
No.
Ever been married?
Yep.
How old was he when he got married?
He was like 23.
Did he make a mistake when he was 23?
Yes, he did.
There you go. My question to you is, sir, how long do you have sticky fingers? And you made a mistake when you were 19.
Right.
Your son made a mistake when he was 23. At least one. You have another child who's 36?
Mm-hmm.
Married?
He is at the present. He's in the process of divorce.
First or second?
First.
Okay, how old was he when he got married?
27 or 8.
So you had a 23-year-old who made a mistake. You have a 27 or 28-year-old who made a mistake. You never can tell. You never can tell. He made a mistake when he was 17. Maybe he'll shape up. Maybe. I don't know. You never can tell. But I know one thing for certain, that within 48 hours, this bank account has to be transferred to your daughter. Okay. And do you want to meet your dad at the bank to do that?
That's fine.
When do you want to go there with your daughter?
Sunday or Monday.
Well, you can't go Sunday because the bank's closed Sunday. I know that would be a good day for you to go, but you can't go Sunday. Monday?
Yeah, that'd be
Monday. Monday morning, 9 o'clock. You meet your father, you go for breakfast, and you go to the bank, and the bank will transfer the account to your name. I will prepare the order. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He told me that the reason that he wouldn't give me the money is because of my Mexican boyfriend. He's very prejudiced.
I mean, when somebody's got another girlfriend and stringing two boys along at once, two girls.
He's never even talked to him or met him.
I don't want my daughter around somebody like that.
He doesn't know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Stanton versus Jeske Gallagher. Step forward, please.
Real estate investor Michael Stanton is suing his former tenants, 22-year-old Sarah Jeske and 21-year-old Heather Gallagher, for unpaid rent and damage to their apartment. Sarah and Heather are countersuing for the return of rent and their security deposit.
Mr. Stanton.
Yes, ma'am.
According to what I've read, you rented an apartment to these two young ladies.
Yes.
When did you rent the apartment to them?
I rented it on September 1st, 2002.
And they signed a lease?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
What was the duration of that lease?
1 year.
It seems that one of these young ladies moved out. The girls had a falling out. One young lady moved out. Who moved out?
I did, Your Honor.
What's your last name?
Gallagher.
When did you move out, Miss Gallagher?
January 1st.
Did you make arrangements with Mr. Stanton before you moved out?
I tried to get a hold of him, and I could not get a hold of him.
So the answer is no?
No.
Your lawsuit, Mr. Stanton, seeks rent for 1 month.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you managed to re-rent the apartment, so it's February's rent that you want. And they want their security deposit back. You want some damages.
Exactly.
Money for damages that were done to the apartment. All right. When Miss Gallagher moved out, I gather, Mr. Stanton, that you had confidence that you were going to be able to re-rent the apartment because you were more than willing to have her move into a one-bedroom.
I had confidence that I could re-rent their apartment because it was so nice.
Right.
Correct.
So he was being very nice to you, right?
Yes. No. Well,
yes, he was.
He wasn't letting us out of it.
Sure he was.
I had talked to him, and he said that he would let me out of the lease if I paid that month's rent, and he would not take me to court.
That's letting you out of your lease, Miss Gallagher.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Michael Stanton claims former tenants Sarah Jeske and Heather Gallagher owe for rent and damage to their apartment. The women say Michael entered their home while they were sleeping.
He has the ability to sue you until August 31st. He just wants the 1 month that he's out. Now you got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Jeske says, oh, that Mr. Stanton, you did a terrible thing. I'm going to let you tell me what he did, because you're counterclaiming for January's rent, for the return of your security deposit, and for your emotional distress.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you let me have it all at one time?
Okay. I was laying in my bed, and first the phone rang.
When was this?
The day I called the cops on him, 4th of January or February.
Well, it was so traumatic, I would assume you would remember the date.
Yeah, it was February 4th, Your Honor.
On February the 4th, you were still in the apartment?
Yes.
Had you paid February's rent?
No, not yet.
What were you doing staying in the apartment if you hadn't paid the rent?
Because I was totally in debt, so...
What's that his problem if you're totally in debt?
I know, and he does, and I was going to pay him his late charge and everything.
All right, so you're laying in bed on February 4th, and you hadn't paid the rent. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. He, must have called or something. I'm not sure if it was him. He says it was him.
What do you mean he must have called? I don't understand that, Miss Chester.
Okay, I went to answer my phone. It was like around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Was it on a business day?
Yes. And I went to answer the phone, and of course, like, he hung up before I got to it, so I went back to bed because I don't go to bed until like really late. And then I heard the door, someone knock on the door, but where my bedroom is, I don't know if it's a lady next to me or my apartment. And I wasn't gonna get up, you know. Then I heard my door unlock to my apartment, so I just stayed in bed because I was in my pajamas. And then after that, I just see my door open, and he was there. Then I heard him leaving with a guy who he was in with, saying, "Oh, she's sleeping." So I moved out because he opened up my bedroom door when I was sleeping.
Yes, ma'am.
I moved out because he opened up my bedroom door when I was sleeping, and I felt unsafe.
Well, what did you think he came there to do to you?
I have no idea.
Do you think he was coming? Shh. You think he was showing the apartment to somebody?
No.
Well, what do you think he was doing?
I don't know what he was doing.
You don't know. You know that he called you, right?
Yeah, because he told me.
Shh. You know that he knocked at the door, so he wasn't trying to scare you. You just decided it was too much trouble to get out of bed.
No.
That's exactly what you told me just a moment ago, that it was too much trouble to get out of bed.
I wasn't sure if it was mine or his.
Well, if you're not sure whether the door is yours or your next-door neighbor's, then you get out of bed to see, right?
Well, yeah, but I wasn't inspecting no one.
Your Honor, may I?
Mr. Stanton, you want to tell me why you went into the apartment, please?
Yes, ma'am. What I did is both girls gave me permission to show the apartment. So my agreement was I'd call. If they weren't home, they gave me permission to go in. One thing they're incorrect about is that their phone was turned off. There is no phone. And in New York State, when the phone is turned off and you call, it'll ring and ring and ring, giving no indication of whether or not the phone is on or off. So I called, the phone rang, so I knocked. Nobody answered. I went in, showed the apartment to the gentleman. When I left, she came out and said, "What's going on?" And I said, "I showed your apartment." Is that okay? And she said, "That's fine."
She came out at that moment?
She came out after I was walking down the hallway. And she also said, "I apologize, our phone is turned off for non-payment."
No.
Yes,
no,
she
she
did.
wouldn't have said that.
She did.
No, I wouldn't. No,
That's exactly what she said verbatim.
Hey, whatever it was,
said he
whether it
heard
was
my
turned
phone
off
ring.
or not, Mr. Stanton, she didn't answer the phone. She didn't answer the phone, she didn't come to the door. Now, this is relevant because if you counterclaim a lot of hogwash. Hogwash. So after this happened, you called your father and you said, I don't feel safe here, I want to move. So he came and he moved. This whole thing is about you owing February's rent. I'm not interested in your emotional distress over him showing your apartment.
He already had my apartment rented out to this John.
Maybe he wanted to look at it again. Maybe he wanted to see where his furniture was going to go. What difference does it make? They didn't come to rape and pillage in your apartment, madam, because they saw you in your bed and they left. He closed the door, and according to you, he said, "Oh, she's sleeping," which means he didn't want to disturb you and closed your door. That's what you just said to me.
May I speak? It's still not right, though, for people just to walk in your apartment, you know.
You weren't even there.
I know. No, this had happened beforehand.
Just a second. You weren't even there.
When I was still living there, though, the maintenance people had walked in, and we had spoken to the manager at the time about that.
Did you go home to live with your parents?
No.
You should, until you grow up.
They did.
Until you grow up, you should both go home to live with your parents and start acting responsibly. You sign a lease for a year, you stay there. And if you don't get along, Miss Gallagher, and if you want to move out, the first thing that you do is you call the landlord and say, "I want to make some arrangements with you. I want to move out of the apartment. Is there some way we could do that?" Not, "I tried to call him and I couldn't get him in, and you left anyway." That's not what a grown-up does. Let me see the damage to the apartment.
What I have here, Your Honor, is pictures of the apartment before I restored it, and also a picture of the broken tub, as well as a picture of damage to the brand new refrigerator. I'm only suing for partial damage to the refrigerator because the refrigerator is fully operational. It's just damaged. The tub is destroyed. How they broke the tub, I have no idea. And I have also, Your Honor, the lease right here from them showing a move-in, move-out form that shows no damage to the apartment.
Okay. Who's going to explain to me how this damage occurred to the bathtub?
We didn't even know there was damage. We have a...
I have a tenant checklist from the manager at the time.
At the time?
Stating that there was no damage when I moved out.
When you moved out, so well, let me see that.
That is fabricated, Your Honor. There is no such thing. I'm the only one who has those forms.
No, he's...
How they got those forms, I have no idea.
Well, who signed this?
John.
A
He was a
tenant of
manager
mine.
at the time.
A tenant of mine in training to be a manager.
No, he was his manager.
Just a
He
second.
was in training.
Is that why you
Listen
pressed?
to me, Mr. Stanton. Let's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
play around with each other, sir.
Yes.
Because I am an ecumenical abuser.
Okay.
If someone is in training to be a manager, that means that they are your employee, right?
Yes.
Yes. They say that John gave them this checklist, which says that there was only some chip paint.
How do I know that? Is that something they fabricated? How do I know that?
How do listen to me?
Because
How do I
John
know,
never told me about
listen
that.
to me.
Yes.
How do I know these pictures aren't fabricated?
They're photos.
Of what?
Of the tub? Before
Maybe
and
it's not. Just a
afterwards.
second. Just a sec, sir. Bert, can you tell me what that's a picture of?
It's a picture of a crack.
Can you tell what it's a crack of?
No, I can't.
Could it
That's
be
why
a
we got the
crack-
new photos.
Just a second. Could it be in a crack in in a wall? Could it be a crack in apartment 604 or 203 or 701? You don't know, right?
I don't know.
You know, Mr. Stanton. Mr. Stanton. You're entitled to certain things, sir, and certain things I had to.
I can't fabricate a photo.
I didn't say you fabricated a photo, sir. I don't know what it's a photograph of. $5.95 was the rent?
$5.95 and a $50 late fee, and the fridge was $75.
You're going to take all that out of their security deposit, sir. From them, you're going to get $5.95, which was February's rent, because Miss Jeske was still living there. According to her, she had a lot of bills, but she was still there February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and laying in bed on the 4th.
I paid him $200 for February's rent.
Oh, let me see.
It's written down.
Good.
My mom signed it over.
That's January rent, Your Honor.
No.
Hold on.
No.
You were supposed to pay him $300 for...
half of my month's rent for January, and she paid $350.
And you paid January's rent and $200 for
half of February's rent, because I was supposed to be in the new apartment.
I don't know why that is.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $395. Your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please excuse.